Matt Barnes, NBA champ. Good seeing you. So you played 2 years with Doc Rivers. And Doc's, and I say this as almost with affection, he's got an ego. He likes his money, likes his power. He's earned it. He's got a point of view. I've never thought he and LeBron's camp are a perfect fit. I think they have a strong world view.
Yeah.
I didn't really buy Doc to the Lakers. Did you?
I actually did, from the standpoint of, I know it's been mentioned that was his goal before he retired, either the Lakers or the Knicks. And once you come to LA and get this LA lifestyle, it would be hard to go back to that cold. But from the outside looking in, I would think that the Clippers are heading in such an amazing direction. I wouldn't see why he would want to jump.
Great owner, nice roster.
Right, you know what I mean? And opportunity to get two max players. There's a lot of dysfunction on the other side right now. But like I said, Doc is a strong mind, strong-willed coach who speaks his mind. And in order for that to work, you would have to get LeBron's blessing, I feel.
Yeah, you would have to. Whoever they get, what is the key in coaching LeBron, in your opinion?
I think it has to be something I had similar when I played with the Lakers with Phil Jackson and Kobe. Phil would talk to Kobe like he was the 12th or 13th man. At the same time, they had the mutual respect, but Kobe was never bigger than the team in Phil's eyes. He always held him accountable and everything. And that would have to be the same situation with the coach with LeBron. Like they can't allow him, not that he tries too often, but there are certain situations where he probably needs to be called on, and they need a coach that can call him out on that.
Well, Doc could do that. Now, Doc can bark.
Yeah. Yeah, Doc and I got in a barking match, and that's why I got traded. So I know Doc can bark well.
No, and I like Doc, but Doc he sees the world a certain way,
right,
and if you don't fit into it,
right.
You're out of there.
Yeah, and I love what he's doing, considering everything that's going on with the team and the trades they've made and guys coming and going. The way he has these guys playing and believing in one another and believing in the system and really putting a great product out there, despite not having a true quote-unquote superstar.
Yeah, play their butts off, good bench. Lakers gave him Zubac, which I didn't get. Who got that move? Like, he's a nice, big,
solid, skilled,
rim
big, young
protector.
kid.
Yeah,
right.
Good for them. So Joy and I were just talking about two things in the NBA. So Kyrie said, I'm going to rest for a couple of days before the playoffs. I've never had a problem with it. If you're a veteran team, Al Horford, Kyrie Irving, and home court isn't a make or break. I mean, they can go and win in Philly. They can go and win in Toronto. I'm okay with it. But how many games off late is too much?
Yeah.
I mean, Boston's not playing great today either, Matt.
You made a great point that, you normally want to be on a good, span while if you decide to take a seat. And my only thing is if he takes consecutive games off, 2, 3, maybe 4 in a row, and they go 4-0. That's already been a dysfunctional locker room, and they're already kind of like, we've done this without you, Kyrie. We just showed again we weren't playing very well before you sat, and then you sat and we start playing well. So I just think they have to be very careful with everything that's going on, take all that in consideration. And if he does sit, it should probably be a game or two here, or a game or two. I wouldn't do like an extended span, because if they happen to go 4-0, that's going to bring more trouble to the locker room.
No, that becomes a story.
Promise you.
Becomes a narrative. And
no question.
It's not just that we make stuff up. You go 5-0 if Kyrie sits. Guys in the locker room.
There's no, because they did it last year.
Right.
You know what I mean? And there's been a lot of, if the LeBron Laker didn't dominate this year's basketball headlines, that Boston locker room would have been scrutinized a little bit more, because there was a lot of dysfunction over there. And from a former player, I don't have to be in there. I can tell with the body language and the way people cheer on the bench and the way they look at each other and missed high fives. Like, you see all that stuff. But I think the fact that the Lakers overshadowed the NBA this year, we didn't really look too deeply into that Celtic locker room.
That's a really good point. Matt Barnes, 14 NBA seasons, won a title with the Warriors. And by the way, played in the NCAA tournament 4 years, 3 or 4?
4 years.
But you went Sweet 16 like 3 times.
Yeah. Fun little run. We had a great, college was, outside of having children, the NBA was a blessing. College was the best time of my life, so I enjoyed college.
It was?
Absolutely.
You love college.
Oh, UCLA was a blast. I wish I told my twins, they're talking about going to UCLA. I told them to be like Van Wilder and get an apartment on campus when they go to UCLA. So I could.
That's funny.
No, UCLA was a blast.
Oh, good for you. I love to hear that. Listen, I am now, everybody in the world thinks I hate Westbrook. I always say, don't hate the player. There are times I hate his game. So Oklahoma City started the year, and they were really good, and they were kind of running stuff through Paul George. Now, Russell's taking more shots, and I've always had this kind of belief, Matt, that you can fake it for a while, but you can only suppress who you truly are for so long. It doesn't matter if it's your girlfriend. It doesn't matter. So date a while before you get married, because people can fool you for a long time.
Right.
Westbrook is incredibly intense, sometimes to the point of being rigid. And here we go again at the end of another season. He is unraveling a little bit. Can we, even if you love him, can we acknowledge they're the only team out west that's now struggling, like, badly, and the offense looks a little more Westbrook-centric?
I'm someone that loves Wes, and I just think sometimes with him, less is more. And I've commended him early in the season to finally kind of taking a back seat and being okay with being Robin, even though he has Batman talent, to be able to be Robin because he can do so many things and affect the game on both ends so well. And Paul George is just a special player. So we saw how, scary that team was at stretches during the season when the offense ran through Paul. Whether it's rush shooting more, their lack of depth, or their ability to actually shoot the ball from the three-point line. They don't really have very good three-point shooters, so that can all play into what's going on here. But to be honest with you, I mean, they're in the 8th spot, but they're tied for 6th, aren't they?
No, they're 8th now.
That's what I said, 8th, but aren't they all 7 games back?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, they're just tiebreaker stuff.
Yeah, they have 10 left. They've got 4 toughies, like Houston, Milwaukee, at Toronto. Then they have a sneaky 5th tough one. They have to go to Memphis. Memphis is sneaky good at home.
But they've proven they can beat all those teams. You know what I mean? I think with Wes and Paul as their leaders, hopefully they can figure it out. But like I said, even though they're in the 8th spot currently, they're 7 back. They're capable of beating absolutely anybody in the NBA. So I look to them to still be, regardless, 8-7-6, a scary out in the playoffs.
How would you have that conversation with a star player? I want you to be Robin. How would you?
You would hope that he would see it. You would hope that he wouldn't need to have that conversation. Like I said, because he has Batman talent.
No question.
You know what I mean? So you would think the older he gets and he continues to just understand the game and expand his mind as a player, you would see like, hey, we had a heck of a streak when Paul was scoring 30, 35 a game. You know what I mean? And now my shots are up 7 or 8 shots a game from what they were at All-Star break, and we're struggling a little bit. So you would hope he would see that a little bit. And just overall, he's had a rough shooting year. Period.
Yes, even free throws.
And you think as a scorer, and I'm sure I've never been on his level at all, but you think, you continue to shoot, you're going to get out of it. And this just hasn't happened this season for him. So, I hope they can figure it out.
Yeah, good seeing you. By the way, college basketball, Zion Williamson, 30 seconds. If you were a GM in the league, what do you see as a pro from Duke, Zion Williamson?
I'm taking him. I'm taking him number 1. And what I like about him is he's a very strong player, but you can tell even in college his game isn't based off strength. It's skill.
He's got a beautiful touch.
He can bully people if he has to, and he's going to learn how to do that at the next level, and I can't wait to see that day. But his game isn't dependent on that. So I love him.
I think he has a really soft touch.
Right.
I mean,
and a nice
around the basket,
a nice quick handle around the basket. Like that's tricky for considering how big he is, and to be able to go behind the back between the legs real quick in a tight space. Considering he's big as a Buick, I love what he can do. You got to think too, and his job for the rest of his career will be just to learn how to shoot.
Yeah,
it's your only job. Learn how to shoot.
Great seeing you, bud.
Great to be seen.